Hi kids, this is Super Angry Monkey and welcome to the Super Angry Monkey Show where we tell you everything you didn't know about everything you don't want to know. You know, there are a lot of religious people out there in the world who spend a lot of time trying to convince me that atheists are just another religion, that somehow I just refuse to accept the proof of God all around us, that he's just there and I'm closing my eyes and covering my ears and just pretending he's not there. And I spent a good deal of my life perplexed by such a notion that I couldn't, that I just refuse to accept the existence of something that never really proves itself to me, something huge and intangible and loves me so much that it just refuses to show itself to me in any aspect of existence. I've been perplexed by that notion, really. I have. I gotta be honest with you. It's been very confusing and it's been very hard, but I've managed to, in my rationale and my maturity, I can try to find a common ground with theists, and I think that I'm ready to give them exactly what they expect out of me because I'm that nice of a fucking guy. Now, in order to make the theist fantasy come true, I really had to dumb myself down and imagine a big imaginary friend that's huge and powerful, and it took a while because I literally had to punch through years of skepticism and cold rationale to get to a place where I could actually mentally dream such a figment into existence. I think, though, that I've managed to get it now. Frank is my imaginary friend. Frank is my king. Frank is my new god. Now, Frank may not look like much to you, and since I'm the only one who believes in him and prays to him right now, you probably think I'm just being silly. However, Frank is better than your imaginary friend. Firstly, Frank doesn't care if I jerk off. In fact, every time that I beat a hooker unconscious and ejaculate all over her face, I know Frank is right there with me, patting me on the back and waiting for sloppy seconds. Frank likes to drink, Frank likes to smoke pot, and Frank likes to beat his wife. He's an imaginary friend that I can relate to, and I think that's what a lot of people are really missing out on in their phantasms, and that's commonality between the figment and a rational human being living in a modern world. One could argue that I just made him up, but in fact, the beauty of having an imaginary friend is after today, I don't ever really have to admit that I made him up. In fact, I can just cover my ears and scream "No you" loud enough to drown out the noise like all the people with way less cool imaginary friends do. Frank is with me, and he is real. The proof of the existence of Frank is all around us, and all you have to do is be willing to accept it. Frank is here, and he loves us unconditionally. Frank even left us his holy scriptures. With a subscription, they come to you monthly in unmarked packages. Praise Frank, he's the god of pornography. I'll tell you what. If you stop making fun of Frank, I'll put in a good word with him. For you, with him. And hopefully he'll reveal himself to you just as he has with me. Frankly, Frank is just as real as your imaginary friend and meets all of the criteria of a god by current definition. He only exists in my mind. I can be very selective as to which areas of my life I allow Frank to exist, and I can use Frank as a security blanket to shield me from the awful truth of this fucking reality, and that is that we are utterly alone. Now, if someone challenges the existence of Frank, I can just cop out of the debate like theists do now and say, Frank only shows himself to those who believe. Frank also accepts donations, and for a meager offering of $75,000 and your free will and your autonomy and your maturity, you too can join me in my belief in my imaginary friend and find a religion that works in our modern world. Frank be praised. Have a nice day.